Autonomous driving, it's garnered a lot of attention in India recently. The geographical and global impact of the technology has raised many, many questions for people in India. And in order to shine some light on this subject and deliver a keynote, joining us from Bengaluru, I'd like to call upon the stage Sanjeev Sharma. He's the founder and CEO of Swayat Robots. His organization is working towards making connected, autonomous driving technology accessible, affordable, and available to everyone. He also has made contributions to growing research fields like autonomous navigation, motion planning, reinforcement learning, decision making under uncertainty, and deep learning. And of course, when anyone talks about autonomous driving and India, I'm thinking, how will a machine do something that is so complicated better on Indian roads? On that note, I invite you, Sanjeev, when you're ready, please go ahead.
Hello everyone, I am Sanjeev, founder of Swayat Robots. At Swayat, Nilesh has introduced, we are developing autonomous train technology that works in highly stochastic traffic dynamics and in both the structured and unstructured environmental scenarios like in India. In this talk, I'm going to focus on the autonomous driving work that we have been doing in India over the past few years and how it enables safer and scalable autonomous driving globally. So just giving a brief introduction to what autonomous driving is. So autonomous is a combination of three key algorithmic pipelines. Perception algorithms process the visual sensory data, global representation of the world around the vehicle. Simultaneously, localization algorithms process the visual and other sensory data and compute the global accurate position of the vehicle on road, pre-computed high fidelity maps of the environment. Such maps store and provide additional information layer to autonomous vehicle in 100 delimiters. Algorithms then compute the motion and behavior commands for a vehicle for it to its destination. So here we'll try to briefly understand what the localization algorithms do. Here is a sample snapshot of what high fidelity maps or high definition maps of environments look like that the autonomous vehicles make use of. So a sample image here shows an HFM or high fidelity map. Note that the high fidelity maps store the road and lane delimiters, the key information points. Vehicle is inferred, once a vehicle has inferred its position globally precisely, with respect to such high fidelity maps, the information that is stored in the maps is projected on top of vehicle's current position and configuration. So this allows autonomous vehicles to know where the delimiters are, where the environmental road delimiters are, even if the onboard fail to detect them. So this is useful as delimiters detection is very hard, and environments like in India can make the problem even harder. So this is a key reason why global accurate positioning is prevalent in the autonomous driving industry at large. We'll come back to this later, how our technology gets rid of. So all the pipelines inherent challenges, and they affect the key aspect of autonomous driving at large. What the customer would care about is the cost, safety, the safety and the scalability of the technology. For example, the current challenge in the perception technology is to ensure the robustness in the algorithms and achieve higher accuracy. And to do this while keeping the computations in check. Because with exhaustive computations, such objectives can be achieved, but it would render the technology impractical. Similarly, in the planning department, challenge is how to ensure that the autonomous vehicles will be able to deal with unforeseen on road, negotiate complex traffic situations, and perform multi-agent negotiation, because every obstacle on road is going to have its own behavior. Similarly, from localization and mapping perspective, the current challenge is how to ensure that the algorithms that are used to infer the vehicle's position can be made much more efficient to solve the sort of infectious challenge problem, because autonomous vehicles at the present require high fidelity or high definition maps of the environment. So such could be posed as key abstract. So these challenges can be posed as to the autonomous vehicle industry and the decision makers at large. For example, when can we trust autonomous vehicles with our family? That is like, what key abilities should the planning or the perception technology demonstrate so that we can benchmark these and set a regulatory standard. Similarly, like how we can ask another question, like how can we assess the performance of the algorithms? Like how can we evaluate perception algorithm or the perception technology? Similarly, how can we ensure that the planning algorithms will act appropriately to unforeseeable environmental and traffic uncertainty? We can ask one more question, like what can be done to make the technology scale much like what happened to the computer industry in the 80s and 90s. So addressing those challenges and answering those questions will lead to technology that is and much more scalable compared to what it is today. But still, there will be significant gaps that would remain unfilled to achieve a level 5 autonomy, which is the goal of this $10 trillion industry at large. So, on the other hand, the unstructured and the stochastic traffic situations, the countries like in India, it makes the problem much more harder, presenting most adversarial situations from the perception and the planning technology standpoint. So, for example, the contextual understanding of the unstructured environments, developing algorithms to perform this kind of understanding is much more harder compared to that of an structured one. For example, often the delimiters are missing, faded, or absent on road. For example, easiest to understand delimiters are the road boundaries and the lane markers. So in Indian roads, they are completely absent often. Similarly, in terms of planning algorithms, the over here is much more complex as compared to the traffic that you see in countries. The only thing that can be said about the Indian traffic is that the irregularity is the only regularity in the way in which the traffic behaves, or you can say that the traffic dynamics is chaotic or stochastic and very complex. Apart from those challenges, that the algorithms are able to deal with such kind of traffic scenarios. While these are some of the apparent challenges, there are also some hidden challenges, which is the computation cost of the algorithms, because ultimately technology we are going to put on a vehicle, it is going to consume the power, and going forward energy is going to be a key deciding factor. Most of the vehicles are going to become electric vehicles, so these algorithms are going to draw power from the batteries of the EVs. So when we talk about the unstructured traffic scenarios in a country like in India, uh, such kind of environments in the traffic uh, make make huge computational demand on the algorithm as compared to performing such operations in relatively structured and simpler traffic scenarios. So while architecting the technology, we also have to keep the computational demands of the algorithms in check to ensure that they are practically feasible as well. However, such environments and traffic situations, like in a country like in India, present tremendous opportunities as well. For example, if the perception technology is able to work reliably in unstructured environments in countries like in India, it will be able to solve the perception-related problems as well that is the developed countries, where the environments are much more structured. Similarly, if the planning technology is able to deal with the chaos and the complex traffic scenes, like in the roads in India, it would be able to ensure safety of autonomous vehicles in developed countries as well, where the corner cases, regular cases for us in India on a daily basis. So this is exactly what we've been working on at Swayat Robotics, been developing the technology that can work in highly stochastic traffic dynamics and in the environments that are as unstructured as the environments in India. So our philosophy is like we are testing technology in India to deploy for the world. So having discussed briefly like what autonomous driving is, what are the technology pipelines of autonomous driving, and what are the present and the future challenges of autonomous driving technology are, I'm now going to focus on the work and the research that we have been doing at Swayat Robots over the past few years to ensure autonomous driving in highly stochastic traffic dynamics and restriction environment conditions. So to begin with, I'll bring the discussion focusing on our perception technology, which focuses on achieving robustness, computational efficiency while keeping the cost in check for the end customer. So over the past few years, we have been our perception research focused on developing algorithms that allow autonomous vehicles to perceive using only off-the-shelf cameras without requiring lidars or radars, and that to both and at night and in environments that are as unstructured as the environments in India. So while developing such algorithms, our one of our primary objectives has been the real-time inference capabilities in algorithms. That is, we want to develop algorithms that achieve very high accuracy in performing all these operations while keeping the computations in check. So our research over here heavily focused on the deep neural networks or deep learning, where we primarily focus on developing novel loss functions and novel compute units and functions for the deep neural network so that they have higher accuracy, better generalization, and have significantly lower when compared to the state-of-the-art algorithms developed elsewhere. One of the researches that we have been doing in the area of perception is development of algorithms that have the ability to not only detect the delimiters, the ability to predict or better yet generate delimiters on the fly. For example, what happens if the lane markers completely go missing on roads, or what if the roads suddenly become unstructured? So in those cases, information pertaining to delimiter may not be available in the sensory data. So the autonomous vehicles would be tasked to predict or generate the ideal location of the delimiters as to where they should have been, while contextual understanding of the environment. Our research focuses on. So I coined the term delimiters prediction and generation. And we are, to the best of my knowledge, we are the only company who is researching in this on this front. So we are focusing on developing algorithms that have the ability to predict or generate both the salient and non-salient delimiters. So when it comes to salient delimiters, we have been researching on predict or generate both the faded and absent salient delimiters. When it comes to non-salient delimiters, we have been algorithms that can generate or predict only the faded but not completely absent non-salient. So still a research in progress, and perhaps a few months down the line will be coming a solution for. So here's a brief highlight of research we have been doing over the past few months and over the technology that we have developed, over the past few years, and over the technology that we have developed over the past few years to enable autonomous driving perception in environments as unstructured as the environments in India. So at present, we have the technology that enables autonomous vehicles to perceive using only the cameras without requiring lidars or radars during the day and at night, and that too in unstructured environments like in India. And we are the one of the handful of the companies in the world who have the enable autonomous driving perception without requiring lidars or radars. When it comes to functions like semantic segmentation, which is computationally most prominent when it comes to autonomous driving perception, is a semantic segmentation. So at present, we have one of the most computationally efficient semantic segmentation deep neural network framework in the world right now. So this algorithmic framework is up to 30 times computationally efficient compared to the state-of-the-art algorithms. Similarly, like as I mentioned previously, we have been developing algorithms that can have the ability to not just detect but to both predict and generate the delimiters on the fly. Gives us the ability to enable autonomous vehicles deal with the unstructured environments. Similarly, we have developed an all-terrain free space detected algorithm, which is again on off-roads. We have tested over several hundreds of kilometers in India already, and it is significantly computationally efficient compared to similar technology developed elsewhere. For example, some of the biggest competitors who have developed some similar solution is NVIDIA, and our technology is like our solution is like 5 to 6 times computationally efficient compared to what NVIDIA has developed. When it comes to, I think anyone who is present over here will be able to relate to the problem of obstacle detection. Anyone who has worked in computer vision or deep learning would know like some of the prominent obstacle detection algorithmic deep learning frameworks as well. So when it comes to obstacle detection, we have developed the solution that is up to 43 times computationally efficient compared to the state of the art. And over the past few, here's a small demo of our technology working directly on Indian roads. So we have collected over 600 million images. So the top channel over here shows our autonomous driving vehicle navigating on regular roads in and around in the city of Bhopal, which is where we are present right now. And all the other channels over here show various perception algorithms doing their operation Indian roads and in Indian environments. So all pre-funding, like we have been doing all these demo since 2017 until now. So we just got our first round funding, $3 million, just in the month of July from an investor in the US. So until then, we had bootstrap. So we were using a Mahindra Bolero vehicle. Going forward, few weeks down the line, we would make level 3 autonomy a common. So if you happen to visit the city of Bhopal, you would be seeing autonomous Toyota Fortuner and autonomous Mahindra Bolero navigating in the city of Bhopal and around the city of Bhopal on the highways as well. Here's also one of the examples of our free space detecting the free space rather the autonomous vehicle. So one of the so it has been tested again like over some meters, and it works in all the different road kind of scenarios. It works off roads, colony kind of roads, highway roads. One of the questions that I get is, do we have the ability to detect potholes on Indian roads? The answer is yes. I mean, we have the ability to detect potholes as well, given that those potholes are highway or the structured roads. Because presently, like we are cameras, off the shelf cameras for doing all the perception operation. The moment we add the lidar or some sort of sensor that gives us a 3D, then we will be able to detect potholes on unrestricted roads as well, except for the off-road scenarios. So here's another example of our technology working directly on Indian roads. So here, as I mentioned earlier, we have been researching on developing deep neural network frameworks that have the ability not just detect or generate, not just detect, but also to predict or generate delimiters on the fly. So here you can see our algorithm working at night. Also at night, it is working even when there's a headlight of the other vehicle is on. So this has the ability that if the lane markers are completely absent, faded, or it would be able to generate them ideally where they should have been, so that the vehicle can perceive its environment as being so again, this algorithm, like there are 35 different demo on our website pertaining to this algorithm. It has been tested over thousands of kilometers directly on Indian roads. So having discussed the highlights of our perception technology, I would now focus our work in the area of localization, where we heavily focus on ensuring that the technology is scalable, that is, it is as less dependent on available infrastructure, and also the maintenance cost of technology is lower going forward. So here I would revisit the high fidelity map that I discussed earlier. So recall that I discussed earlier that autonomous vehicles use high fidelity maps uh, to know where the delimiters are. So high definition or high fidelity maps store the road and the environmental delimiter information again, other than also capturing the entire 3D structure of the environment as it is. So as I discussed earlier, this allows, once the vehicle's position and configuration is determined globally precisely with respect to such high fidelity or high definition, all the information that is present in the map is projected on top of vehicle's current position and configuration. So a fail-safe determination of the delimiters on road. That is, if the on way to detect them, the autonomous vehicle is still has a provision, has the ability to know where the delimiter. And this is important because, again, as I mentioned, delimiteration is very hard, and unstructured environments make it harder. However, one of the problems is that with this model is that inferring vehicles' global position against high fidelity maps is computationally very expensive process. It requires remote servers to compute, presenting a huge infrastructure challenge, and that is where autonomous vehicles need 4G and 5G internet connectivity. So this makes it very difficult autonomous driving. First, you have to have the infrastructure, and second, you have to have developed the maps, which may cost billions of dollars, to develop and then maintain. So, as I mentioned earlier, like we have already developed algorithmic frameworks that only detect delimiters, but also have the ability to ideally generate them in real time, where they ideally should have been in case they're faded, unclear, or completely missing in the environment. So this ability to not just detect but also generate delimiters gives us the ability to enable autonomous driving without requiring the high fidelity definition maps. So this is what our autonomous driving model looks like. So you can see autonomous driving model I presented, it has the same semantics as for the perception in the planning pipeline. But when you look at the localization pipeline that we use, or that we have invented, is that our vehicle does not require the global accurate position to be determined against the or the high definition maps. So as we can both detect as well as generate the delimiters in real time, it eliminates the need to project this information as delimiters from the high fidelity map. And thus our model works with only the local relative positioning of the vehicle against the local delimiters, without requiring the global accurate positioning of the vehicle against the high definition or the high fidelity maps. So this allows us to use only the GPS maps. That is, the GPS maps are for us to perform autonomous driving, where such maps are used only for the purpose of route planning. This is just like human navigation when we drive vehicle where we do not know precisely where we are on planet Earth with sub-meter level accuracy. What we know is what route we have to take to reach our destination. We process the local information and then execute the actions. This is a similar model that we have adopted for autonomous driving, and it gives us a significant compared over our competitors, some of the prominent competitors. I mean, the entire transport industry is currently based on global accurate position and inference against the high definition or the high fidelity maps. Again, highlighting some of the research that we have done to enable this is that, see, as I mentioned, like over the past few years, we have been researching end-to-end deep neural networks for robustly detecting delimiters with ability to both generate the salient and the non-salient delimiters. They are faded, absent, or completely missing in the environment. So one of the instances of this research is our lane detection and generation algorithm, for which I showed a demo earlier as well, the demo that was working at night. So here again, revisiting it. So our algorithm is an end-to-end deep learning network, highly computationally efficient, requiring only under 13 gigaflops of compute per image for simultaneous detection generation. So it detects road boundaries and lane markers if they are present on road. If they are faded, unclear, or completely absent, ideally where they should have been, so that the vehicle can perceive its environment as structured, even though the inherent environment is unstructured. So below are the sample images showing it working. Here's another of our algorithm working at night on an autonomous vehicle. So this sample demo shows our algorithm working at night on autonomous vehicle. So it can be noted that even though the delimiters are the delimiters and the road boundaries are not clearly visible, our algorithm is able to generate them ideally where they should have been. So so that the vehicle is perceiving it as being structured, even though inherently the vehicle cannot perceive they are not clearly visible in the images, like where the road boundaries and the lane markers are. So it plays a very key role in enabling autonomous driving without requiring the high fidelity maps. So this is like having covered the perception and the that we have developed over the past few years, I'll now focus on the planning research and the technology that we have been developing over the past few years. So planning research, 80% of the research that we are doing at Swift Robots. It also, I mean, I've been just giving a brief background. I've been a researcher for the past 12 years. I started my autonomous driving focusing on reinforcement learning and motion planning since I was a student at IIT Roorkee, that is in January 2009. So our company heavily researches in the area of reinforcement learning, which is a field of machine learning which allows you to mathematically model the sequential making problems. So we heavily use reinforcement learning. We are one of the handful of the companies on the planet who have the ability to use reinforcement learning for real world control applications and to actually make it work. And one of the 3 to 4 companies in the world who is using reinforcement learning for autonomous driving at the moment. So our planning research, as I mentioned earlier, focuses on enabling autonomous driving in highly stochastic traffic dynamics and that is complex as well, to ensure the safety both in India and abroad. So here are some of the highlights of our planning research and technology that we have built over the past few years. So currently we have been researching, and also we have developed technology in the that enables autonomous vehicles to negotiate highly stochastic traffic dynamics, a kind of traffic dynamics that you see on Indian roads. We've also been researching on multi-agent intent recognition framework. This framework allows autonomous vehicle the ability to understand intent of other vehicles on road and then plan accordingly. So uh, a framework like this, one of the problems with developing the framework, often the computational requirement grows exponentially with the number of obstacles, agents that are present in the environment around the vehicle. So with some of the tricks, mathematics, specifically in the field of topology theory, more specifically in the field of homotopy theory, we have been able to use some of the ideas from there. And what we achieved is that the computation in our framework grow quadratically with the agents or the obstacles on road. And for some of the very special cases, we have been able to those computations from exponential to super linear. Uh, this is like mathematical discussion around it, like how we are able to do it. But I'll show you the technology working live. Working on a vehicle which we recorded 2017, and which many of you would be seeing working live on Indian coming weeks. So we also have developed algorithmic frameworks that allow autonomous vehicles to deal with spaces. I'll show a demo for that as well. So this algorithmic framework searching allows autonomous driving to navigate very high speeds on cluttered highway roads as well, which becomes very important for autonomous driving countries like in India. We have been also researching on developing that allow autonomous vehicles to overtake on typical two-lane roads in India, bi-directional, just like the Indian drivers are able to overtake and about regions to overtake other vehicles. Similarly, like we have been developing algorithms that allow autonomous vehicle to navigate on completely unknown environments as well. So as I mentioned, like over the past since January 2009, that was when I was in my fourth semester undergrad, I've been researching in motion planning and decision making under uncertainties, specifically focusing on reinforcement learning uh, and some of the other branches of theoretical computer science. So one of the past 12 years of research is this 12 years of research is this motion planning algorithm, which is the replanning frequency in hertz on a regular core i7-4790K desktop processor, thread of this processor, to be able to achieve a replanning frequency of 1000 hertz. Typically, companies use very specialized hardware like the FPGA chips, or they go and develop their own ASIC solution to achieve something like this. We have the ability to react to any unforeseeable sort of any adverse in within 1 millisecond. So it goes like in some of the hardware it can go up to 2000 hertz as well. So we have sub millisecond level capability to react to on the roads. Similarly, like we have been, as I mentioned, like we have been developing algorithms to enable unmapped environments, which has been a major focus of my research over the past 12 years as well. So here's there's a lot of demo I could have picked to show autonomous driving, to show some of the highlights of our planning research. But so this is a 2017. I mean, at that point in time, we were not even funded company. So you can see our autonomous Mahindra Bolero is navigating on regular colony kind of roads in India. And the task of the vehicle is to avoid any static or dynamic obstacle that may come in its path. And they do actually towards the end of the navigation. So fast forwarding it. So towards the end, you over the here on the left, I would have, we are a bit out of time. So otherwise I would have explained like how the homotopy maps work over here to enable this kind of a behavior for autonomous vehicles. But at least, for now, we can at least rest with this explanation that over here you can see that towards the end a bike is coming from the other end. And if there was any, most of you would have seen demo from the companies like Waymo, Cruise, and Zoox of the world. I mean, these are some of the prominent, Aura Tech, these are some of the prominent companies driving today. One thing you would have noticed that these vehicles navigating on California, even if the vehicle is able to, there's enough space available for the vehicle to cross, the vehicle which is the other vehicle to pass and then start moving. Over here, the vehicle is perceiving its environment using radars, not the front bumper. So this algorithmic framework uses 6 different reinforcement learning agents to enable this kind of a behavior. So over here, you notice that you see that our vehicle navigates through this region without stopping for the bike to pass. If there was any other company's autonomous driving vehicle, the autonomous driving software would have commanded the vehicle to stop over there. So we may ask a question. I mean, should autonomous vehicle something like this? I mean, that's for the regulators and the government to decide. But what we are highlighting is the ability of the vehicle to deal with something like this. I mean, we often talk about the corner cases. You know, what happens? Something suddenly appears on road, then how the autonomous vehicle will be able to react. So if we have the to ensure that autonomous vehicles can navigate in highly stochastic traffic scenarios, in very tight scenarios that are very dynamic, stochastic, and very complex in nature, present very complex traffic dynamics, then we can go on and certify that yes, the autonomous vehicles are now safe and ready to be deployed in the market. Similarly, if we can develop the technology that can enable perception on unstructured roads, unstructured environments that are as unstructured as in India, then we can ensure the safety of the autonomous and fails the operation of the autonomous vehicles on road, perhaps all over. And this is a $10 trillion industry. Indian government in India at large has tremendous opportunity. A very complex problem. It will require collaboration both at the industrial level as well as between the industry and the government. And India or the Indian government today has the opportunity to set a benchmark for the industry, for the autonomous industry, that is going to be a $10 trillion industry by the year 20. Goal is to capture 25% of the market by year 2030. So with that, I will you for inviting me over here to present. I'm happy to take any you might have.
You spoke about ongoing research in autonomous driving, and from what we've seen, we're pretty close to have this technology being accessible, efficient, and safe to use on our
Sure,
roads. So, one quick question, if I may, which
sure,
is, can you
sure,
kind of, it's not just the technology, it's permissions, it's the legal
sure.
space, it's the policy space. You know, is there any way you can kind of predict how long this is going to be before we see actual traffic on roads? I mean, you do say that in Bhopal specifically, you will already be able to see these vehicles, but for people like the Aam Aadmi, how much time is it going to take? Do you feel comfortable hazarding a guess?
So, like regarding like when the common public will feel autonomous driving. So, our goal is to ensure that we have the autonomous driving solution market by the year 2024, and by 2022 December have a plan of launching our ADAS product that would be able to perform most of the ADAS operation following the European Union guideline for ADAS. And if you follow the European Union guideline for ADAS, you'd be able to develop an ADAS system that can not only alert the driver but also take care of the control of the vehicle in case if something happens in and around the vehicle. We have a target to launch what we call Autonomous One, a first prototype autonomous driving system that can be mounted on roof of any vehicle, and we have a target to launch it by mid. But by 2024, we would have proof of concept at most of the technology that will go on level 4 and level 5 autonomous driving problem. For example, you can see like many of the algorithms that we talk about. I mean, the ability to deal with highly stochastic traffic dynamics, the ability to deal with narrow spaces, tight spaces that are dynamic in nature. So we have been proof of concepting all these algorithms since day one. So focus has been that level 4 and level 5. But is that is both, you have to incorporate the financial angle as well. We have been a startup. We have been a bootstrap startup for the past, since 2015. We have received our funding only last couple of months ago. So going forward, I mean, yes, I mean, we would be productizing that, and you would be saying, something very soon. As far as the public, public perception of autonomous driving is concerned, is where the way the current autonomous driving industry operates. I mean, it's it's not too safe. I mean, you can see autonomous driving failing in corner cases, even in developed countries like in the US. You have very high cost of operation as well as the maintenance. Only the giants in the world, like OEM giants, can afford at the moment. So this is where we are addressing the key challenges that a customer would face. I mean, they don't want to pay very high prices. They want the technology to be safe, and they don't want to have very high operation cost as well, right? So you will notice like what we are addressing through the technology is exactly the cost, safety, and the scalability aspects of the autonomous driving. And when you solve these problems in demo in highly complex scenarios like in India, that is where the public perception of autonomous driving can change at large. But yes, it may take years or months, after the deployment of the product in the market.
Yeah, I mean, the Indian challenge is, of course, completely unique to the global south, as they say. And we also spoke earlier about AI winter and AI spring and how both hope and setbacks, they go hand in hand. And let's hope really that this technology will be safe and accessible for everybody to use pretty soon. Thank you so much on that note, Sanjeev Sharma. It was really interesting to see the perspective of autonomous driving on Indian roads, which is not something even now, I would say, that people in this space are exposed to on a regular basis. So thank you so much on that.
Thank you so much for having me here.